Hello everyone, my name is Somy Ayazi and thanks for joining Serviceless Days event this year. Despite all the pandemic challenges, technology still gives us a chance to reach beyond borders, so I would like to thank our sponsor who made today happen. In this session, we'll be talking about Power Platforms, mainly Serviceless AI, to see how we can enrich our solution to drive a better business outcome. So before we start, a little bit about myself. I've been in software development for more than 15 years, wore different hats based on my career interests. I always enjoy working in consultancy, and at the moment I'm a development consultant with Telestra Purple. Being a consultant gives me the chance to see organization and companies' problem firsthand and help them to overcome those challenges by using the available technology. And I'm glad that I can tag along in these journeys. Today we're going to cover Microsoft Power Platforms, and then we're going to talk about AI Builder within Power Platform and see what feature and capability it has to offer. And also we're going to talk about the engine behind the scene of the AI Builder. Microsoft Power Platform is a business application platform. It will help you, it will give you the central location to bring all your data and start building application by technically dragging and dropping controllers to your screen. So what will happen is the fundamental change is the data. So rather than instead of developing a solution or business model that start with ERP or CRM, we are starting with the system of observation and intelligence. What it means is the data will be our starting point. So we are checking and reviewing our historical data and the existing data within our organization, and we will build a solution on top of those historical data. In this way, we can start halfway. That will give us a jump start to build something on the top of our existing process, and then we get a chance to upgrade and improve the process as we go along. The Power Platform gives us the opportunity to bring all our data within our organization into one common data model. We can integrate to different solutions, and we can read and start reading from our different type of data within the same platform. So it's a central location for us to easily build application and automate our business process. It contains Power BI, which is the business analytics services that Microsoft provides. It uses the data that are stored in common data services and as well as other databases. So you can use connectors to connect to other data sources and start reading from those sources. So with Power BI, you can build and generate dashboards and reports, and you can have different type of metrics to help you to define and make a decision based on the result that you're seeing within your system. With Power Automate, you have the option to build a platform on top of our CDS, and but with the help of Power Automate, you can automate the process that you have within your Power Apps. So you can have the metrics in your Power BI. You can act based on the metrics that you see from the Power BI and build your application or trigger different action within your application. So with the help of Power Automate, you can have that connection and that automation. So the Power Automate, you can automate your process. You can define an automated workflow for different type of system to talk to each other. For example, you can get the data from Power Apps and put that data into SharePoints or notify different people. You can also store that data somewhere else, and the Power BI will read from that data, generate a different report for you, and based on the report that you built, you can decide and assess your process and assess the outcome of your application and maybe enhance that process further along. With the Power Virtual Agent, it is something new that has been introduced in Power Platforms, and it will let you to create chatbots without knowing any technical knowledge. So it's basically drag and drop and point and click way to create a chatbot, so you can interact with your user and customers, and you can help them to get the answer right away. With this, you also have the option to integrate to different type of platforms. What it means that based on the response that you receive from your chat box, you can integrate it to, you can use Power Automate to trigger some actions based on the conversation that are happening within your chat box. Also, you can spin up a Power Apps to do that. So all these four components are interrelated. They can talk and they can communicate with each other. So these are all existing inside a Power Platform. So the Power Platform is a central location that we can go and we can build a powerful solution and application without knowing too much about the technical behind the scene. The core side of Power Platforms is the common data services. So everything is about data. We will build our stuff based on the data that are available to us. Even the AI builder is reading from the existing data. So we'll read from it will create a pattern from the data that you have in place, and it will try to train your model to provide better services to your application. So I'm going to talk about AI builder a little bit further, and we're going to talk about, and I'm going to show you a demo based on that as well. So the AI Builder is a feature that has been added to Power Platforms a few years ago, and Microsoft keeps adding more features to it. So what it does, it offers pre-built machine learning models that can be added to either Power Apps or Power Automate. It leverages on Azure AI and ML technologies. It gives you a low-code capability. So without knowing how it's been built and how the engine behind the scene works, you can start using those features and you can start getting the benefit and advantage out of the pre-built features inside the Power Platforms. It will help you to automate your process, and it will help you to predict the outcome. As it relies on the machine learning technologies, it has some predefined model that you can use, and you can get the outcome based on your business need. There are different types of AI models, and as I mentioned, it is relying on the cognitive services, Azure Cognitive Services, and artificial intelligence. So there are some pre-built AI models within AI Builder. As you can see, there are some pre-built that you can click and start using it, and there are also some custom models that you can customize and configure based on your business process. So, for example, the pre-built AI model, there is one called Business Card Reader, which uses Vision API. It's actually, you can scan different type of business cards, you can grab the information from the business card, and you can trigger some action based on that. Text recognition is basically the same. It is again using the Vision API, and you can recognize text from even handwriting or printed text from an image that you provide to your application. Key phrase extraction, language detection, sentiment analysis, which will help you to understand the intent of the conversation or intent of the message. For example, you're getting a feedback from customer, you want to see if that feedback was a positive feedback or negative feedback. You can use this sentiment analysis to be able to assess the information that you're receiving from your end users. There is one called receipt processing, which I'm going to show you a quick demo of that one as well. For example, if you want to reimburse your expenses within your company, it will give you a quick and easy jump start to scan your receipt and then send those receipts to other parties, emails, or put it in SharePoint or do something else with it. Text translation, at the moment it will translate 16 languages, but Microsoft will keep add new languages to this API as well. Apart from these pre-built AI models that you can quickly pick and start using, there are some custom AI models. Again, they are relying on the same API, language, vision, and decision API, but it gives you the option to configure and tag the model based on your business needs. So you can customize it based on your own need. For example, the form processing. The receipt processing is a subset of form processing. It has its own entity, but with form processing, you can define your own form, you can have your own template, and you can tag the different information that you want to see from those forms as well. So you can assess, extract information from your scanned form, and then gather those information and do something with those information along the way. It will save you the time and the energy that you need to spend to scan or manually type the information from the paper solution that you have. So how it works. We choose a model based on the business need that we had. We configure our model based on the need that we have, and then we train our model. The more data, the more sample data that you provide to your solution, to your model, the more accurate your model will become. So what we do, we will grab some subset of data. We will configure our model. For example, we'll tag different information that we want to capture from those data, and we'll ask and train our model to always look for those tagged information that we are after. We can test and we can iterate on this process as well. So if you are not happy, we can keep reconfiguring it and training our model and until we are happy. The higher the confidence level is, the more accurate your model will work. And the more data that you provide, the more accurate your model will be as well. Once we're happy, we can publish that model, and also we can share the model. So you can build a solution or build a model within Power Platforms, and you can share that model once you're happy with other division within your organization, so they can start using your model. So one person can build and you can publish it any other places, and other people can start using it rather than needing to rebuild it from scratch. So let's jump into a model, and I'm going to show you the receipt processing, which is still in preview, but it will give us a quick overview how easy it is to take it on and set it up. Let me just switch to my Power Platform. So as I mentioned, the AI Builder feature is, you can use AI Builder feature within Power Apps or Power Automate. So the feature is the same, the pattern and the user interface basically the same, and you can use the same capability within both platforms. I'm going to show you the Power Apps section. As I mentioned earlier, within the Power Apps, you have the options to use the existing or pre-built model, and as well as the custom one. I'm going to pick one which I'm going to show you, which is a receipt processing. It is still in preview. It's been introduced in July, and it is still in preview. It will be GA in a few months' time, and every other region they can use it as well. So the good things about AI Builder and Power Platform is the friendly interface that it has. So you can see and you can learn how to use, even if this is your first time, you can quickly pick up. It has some sample data that you can select and you can try. So you can see there's a receipt, and it will tell you what information it will capture on the spot. Without doing any configuration, you can start using it. It will also tell you the best practices, the do's and don'ts that you need to follow to get the better outcome from the solution. It will tell you whether, it will ask you whether you want to use it in the flow or you want to use it within the app. So this is, the receipt processing has a pre-built entity model. So it will extract specific information. As you can see, these are the information that will extract, and we just need to, so it's already tagged. With form processing, you can tag it yourself. You can define different tags, and you can identify the information that you want to pick up from the form. But the form processing is a subset or a sample or the template of that form processing. It already has the information, and the common information that every single receipt will have is already pre-built for us, and we can start using it. For example, I want to use it within the app. You just need to click. It will takes you to Power Apps, and then you can start using it. I already have the version of it as well, so I'm gonna just switch to show you the existing one that I have. So in order to use the receipt processing, this is our form, so it can be a mobile or tablet forms. You just need to drag and drop the controller. So I use low code flow to be able to create this one. So what I did was I went to insert. There's an AI Builder. You can see the pre-built controller that you can use. I select the receipt processor, and I just dragged it on my form. So it has everything that you need. I added these additional fields to be able to capture the information. For example, with this, I have the receipt processor and the merchant name. I have the address. I have the purchased item as well. So if I want to test, I can quickly run this solution. I can scan. For example, I'll scan this receipt. It's a similar of the sample that we had. So we'll go through we'll actually talk to AIs, and the model will read from and extract the text from this information. It could, as you can see, it could read the printed, detect the printed text as well as the hand writing one as well. So it captured the information as best as it could based on the training that it has gone through. For example, I also put the confidence level as well, so you can see the higher the number, it means that the more confidence the model has. For example, the name, it was like 61% confident that it got it right, but for the phone, it is 99% confident that it got the right information. As you can see, we could, with a 98% accuracy, we could get the hand writing one as well. So you can grab this information, you can plan with you can play with this information, and for example, you can upload this information somewhere else. So that is the quick one that you can build. So for example, if you are working in a company and you want to submit your expenses to a SharePoint folder, that is a quickest way that you can do that. I'm going to show you another one. So I have SharePoint document library, and I just want to get my receipt, scan my receipt, and process my receipt and send those information back to SharePoint. What I used was the receipt processor as well as the Power Automate. So there is a pre-built template to upload photos to SharePoint. You can customize this template to upload additional metadata, and you can add those metadata as a column to your document library as well. So you can customize the existing one if you want to. I went with the out-of-the-box one, and I'm going to show you how it works. So I'm going to run it again. I want to add one more receipt, which is a little bit more complex. It has more items, and let's see if we could grab the information. As you can see, for the purchase item, it could read from the purchase item and the dollar value. It couldn't tell maybe the numbers of the items, but it could grab the information regarding to the names of the item that I purchased. It has a total, and you can see the confidence level of each identified and detected item as well. So I want to, for example, I want to upload this one. Let's say Walmart receipt. I just put this. I want to upload this to SharePoint. I will do this. You will see a little bit of. Now if I move and refresh this page, I should be able to see that receipt right here. And that captured my receipt. As I mentioned earlier, you can update your Power Automate template to be able to grab this information and add those information to your list as well. Or you can trigger an email to send this information to your manager to reimburse your expenses. So this is how easy it is to set it up. I didn't use any sort of code. I just drag and drop the controllers, and I just use the existing feature within the controllers. I'm going to go back to Power Platforms, Power Apps, and I'm going to show you the entity that are here just quickly. So Power Platforms has the core data model, which is called common data model. As we were talking about earlier, we need to bring all our own data in one place, or connect to our data from one place and start reading from those information. On top of that, Power Platforms offers more than 200 standard business entities that you can use. These are common across organizations. For example, emails, attachments, accounts, phone calls, those sort of information, those sort of templates are kind of common across different type of organizations. So with CDS, there are predefined, they are available for us to use. We have the option to customize it based on our custom business entities that we have within our organization, but some of these are already built in, so that gives us a jump start, will save us time and money. Instead of us going and rebuilding everything from scratch, it is available to us to use as well. Once we build our AI builder and models, we have the option to share those models to as I mentioned, to different organizations. If you're not happy with your model, you can retrain your model. And the other good things within AI builder is there are some on-spot training available that you can use and start. That again gives you a jump start to quickly learn and play with Power Platforms and start getting values out of the Power Apps and Power Platforms. Let me just quickly go back to our presentation. Being cautious of the time, I guess we can now cover. Let's talk about what is behind the scene. What is AI and how does it work? AI is a creation of the software that imitates human behavior and capabilities. It is a collection of artificial intelligence API. So regardless of your skill level, regardless of your platforms, you should be able to quickly use this API. You don't need to know how they are built. They are REST APIs, so you just need to connect to these APIs and start reading from those APIs. For the case of AI builders, you don't even need to know how the REST API works. You just need to drag and drop the feature and start using the capability that it has to offer. The key elements of AIs are MLs, which is the way that we teach a computer model to make a prediction or draw a conclusion from. It detects an anomaly. For example, if you have inappropriate data or information from within your text or context of your organization, or a video or image, you can omit those information to be conveyed to your end user. So you can detect and you can assess and you can improve your data that you're passing or communicating to your customers and within your and also as well as within your organization. With the computer vision, it has the capability to interpret the visual world as well. As I mentioned, images, video, and the cameras. You can detect what you see. You can define what you see. It will help you to define what it can see. With the NLP process or natural language processing, it has the capability to interpret the written and the spoken languages and response. For example, in the chatbot, you can use that. You can build an application for like a conversation. So it has a conversational AI as well, that it can act as an agent to participate in a conversation. So these are the key features or the key elements within AI that are available for us to use. If you want to dig in a little bit further into different type of API, especially the one that are being used in AI builders, one is Vision API. Within Vision API, you have the computer vision, which you can identify different type of information from your image, also from your videos. It can detect, analyze the face. You can tag the face in the photos, and you can also recognize the emotion. So you can get the sentiment maybe and recognize the sentiment from the text and recognize the emotion from the face, and you can act based on those information that you're capturing. It has the custom vision, so similar to all other models that I just explained, you have the option to train your model, to customize your model, to learn from your own specific data and act based on your own specific process. You have the form recognizer, which extracts text, the key value pairs that you want to understand. It can extract the tables from your documentations, and for example, using it in Power App, you have the option to provide a subset or template of your forms, of your organization forms, and you can train your model to start capturing the information quickly from your documents. It has the ink recognizer feature, which is something new, that it will recognize the digital ink and handwriting. With the Vision API, it can read the handwriting and the printed text, but with this one, it actually recognizes the digital ink and pinpoint the common shape. So it's a more advanced feature that it already has. As you can see, even Microsoft will improve and train and more customize the existing model every day. So this is something that Microsoft can do, and we also can do as well. Microsoft gives us the opportunity to have our own model and customize our own model. Going through the language API, you can create QA marker using the language API. You can create different type of conversational question and answer. You can use the same pattern within your chatbots as well. You can analyze the text. As I mentioned earlier, you can detect the sentiment, and you can, for example, when you're capturing your customer feedback, you can tell. Using this, you can tell whether your customer was happy or it was a negative feedback, even if the phrase was good, but the sentiment of the text was negative. So you can identify those information. You might not get it right with the lower number of the sample data, but the more sample data that you provide to your model, the more accurate it will get. It also can translate different type of languages. At the moment, so far, it will support 60 languages that it can translate to different type of languages. For example, if you're out in different countries, hopefully in near future, if we go overseas and we don't understand the country's language, we can use and build ourselves a small app to talk in our own language and translate that language to the countries that we are at, and we can make a conversation quickly. The speech API, similar to the language API. So these APIs can be used in interrelated as well. So you can combine these different type of APIs and to make the best use of it. So you can use a speech API to convert speech to text, or the other way around. So you can write something, convert it to text, or you can speak loud a text that it's been written. So it gives you the readable, searchable feature within your text. It has a speech translation, and the example that I just mentioned, you can use this one to have the real-time speech translation into your app. So if you combine this to the language API, you can have that translation in real-time translation that you're after. It also has the speak recognition feature, which is still in preview, which you can identify different type of speakers when they're talking. So what it does, it will create a different speaker profile for each individual, and the more that you give it the trial, the better the model will get. There's another one called Decision API. So there was one a pre-built AI model, which was the prediction one, and it gives you true false answer or yes or no answer. So it's kind of the prediction of the criteria and the business process that you define. So it can, for example, based on the criteria that you define, based on the tag that you define, it can detect the offensive or unwanted content. It can personalize based on your user experience as well. The other thing that it can do is, based on the condition that you provide, it can predict the outcome for you. For example, if you're applying for a home loan and you want to see if you are eligible or not, there are some set of condition that you need to pass in order to be eligible to apply for a home loan, for example, or a credit card. With the use of these Decision API, you can create that feature available. You can create that feature for yourself, and you can have the outcome. You can see this in when you're applying for the credit card. Within 60 seconds or 5 minutes, you will receive an email saying that, hey, you're eligible, or no, you need to provide more documentation. So you can use these available AIs to create and build a powerful solution. It might look hard, but when you start using it, it's very easy to use. So at the beginning, if you talk about the problem, if you talk about the solution, you think it's going to be very hard to implement. But when with these features available to us and in hand and easy to use, you would see and you would experience it that it's not. It is very easy to build and get the outcome early on. Just to wrap up, the AI Builder benefits. So it's easy to use. It's a drag and drop. It's a wizard-based user interface. There are lots of on-spot documentation and the best practices available within Power Platforms that you can get yourself familiar with, and you can start practicing your model as well. It is empowering, so it's for every skill set. So regardless of your skill set, your background, your platform, you have the opportunity to start using these features. It is extensible, so you can build it in one place and use it other places as well. It is serverless. You don't need to manage any AI infrastructure. You don't need to know how the engine behind the scene works. You just need to start using it. It has the built-in security role, which relies on the environment security and the CDS security that you have within your Power Platforms. You also have the option to customize it, but it is secure for you to start with. But if you have more conservative security level within your organization, you still have the option to customize it. If you want to know more, there are some links available to you guys. I'm going to pause a little bit on this slide so you can grab the links. I'm sure that we will share this slide later on as well. So feel free to get in touch with me if you have any other questions, and I'm happy to answer your questions. The last link that is down there is to claim your own swag. As far as I know, it's only available for Australian postcodes. So feel free to grab it and submit your interest. So hopefully you will receive a swag in a few days' time. And finally, Last not the least, the future we invent is a choice that we make. With the help of AI, we can invent the future that we want. Hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you all.